Hi, this one's something interesting. This had everything to become a sensation. It was created as a sensation, touted to be a challenge to the pandemic. It also had everything to become political, and so did it. I am referring and reviewing the much touted Ayurvedic drug by Patanjali, the Swadeshi form, supposed to be a cure for the COVID infection. If I go by what is available in the space, what they have disclosed, what people have shared, Coronel faces stiff challenges in being accepted as a treatment, be curative for a viral disease. Just to rely on the principle that it has certain immune modulators does not really suffice that it will prove to be an antiviral therapy. The serious allegation that exists against most Ayurvedic formulations happens to carry forward onto Coronel as well. This is that most Ayurvedic formulations have numerous contents to it. In case of Coronel, there are supposed to be more than 100 herbs or things that have been used. The problem this poses, this presents, and this is why it becomes acceptable and questionable. This is why Ayurvedic pharmacopoeia finds it difficult to establish itself, is when you have 100 different substances being used. Today's medicine discusses them at the level of the active ingredient concept, or what is it that actually works from within that particular substance. These happen to be usually alkaloids, happen to be usually different phenytoins, different other biomolecules, could be of protein nature, could be of a mixed protein nature. They also, along with it, carry some micronutrients, metallic and non-metallic. Each one of these substances has its own digestive outputs. These micro digested outputs, given the environment within the body, have every other opportunity to interact among themselves and form something different. So to come up with something that says that these 100 things come together and form this single molecule, and this single molecule is the functional molecule, which is then acting on the particular site, the cell receptor or the cell binding pattern, or influencing the pH inside and outside the cell environment, is near impossible. If I were to say COVID specifically, COVID has a known receptor site of ACE enzymes, and the three most popularly mentioned herbs being tulsi, ashwagandha, shilajit, none of them really has a very specific ACE inhibition. They also do not have a very strong, potent, established history of any interference with the antiviral activity in terms of RNA modulation or polymerase chain modulation. There are other ingredients as well, and one needs to look at the quantities, the forms, and of course the possible active ingredients that these molecules are coming up with that go on to, if at all, perform this function. Therefore, why coronal fails to address the challenge is, in terms of modern biochemistry, because it does not really suggest what is the mechanism of action of the drug. My friends from the Ayurvedic world, my colleagues, my seniors, my juniors, will question me on this, that how does modern biochemistry and Ayurvedic biochemistry come together, and Ayurveda is so different from modern sciences. If I were to really get into it, I would bring it down to the fact that micronutrient level post-digestive absorbed product that gets further metabolized at the tissue level ultimately lends you with three outputs: carbohydrate, protein or fat forms. And any of these forms, carbohydrates being Kaphaj, then fats being Pittaj, then your proteins being Vataj in character singularly, and actually proteins being Vat Kaphaj, then carbohydrates being Kaph Pittaj, and fats being Pitta Kaphaj. To summarize a little better, all of these do talk of changing cellular environment, and this often gets related to our concepts of amdosh if it is partially metabolized. And amdosh is very, very significantly associated with acidification or acidic environments or lower pH environments, which is what promote most viral and other infections within the body. Therefore, if I were to say tulsi or ashwagandha or any of these things, they fail to even recognize this element. They fail to counter amdosh very specifically. So even in the Ayurvedic context, coronal fails. Coronal fails the basic tests of science. It may be an immune modulator and may be a very strong, potent immune modulator, but a passive immune modulator, something that works on the immunity passively and probably helps the body get ready to fight an infection or any infection. But to say COVID specifically, it does not even help generate antibodies that will fight a COVID infection, because you generate a specific antibody only when you are exposed to that infection. So, if somebody asymptomatic is exposed and develops antibodies to COVID and is also taking coronal perhaps has no role in that, because it's body's own innate system that fights against COVID. What I want to say is not just against coronal or not in favor of coronal as such, though it may be a very novel attempt, but even otherwise, probably we need to be very, very particular, very safe when we talk of a certain medication with perspective to a certain disease, and we should be able to either establish it in the right direction by ourselves, or otherwise let the producer, let the pharma company back it up with proper research. Unless otherwise, it can never be touted as a treatment against a disease, maybe a support, maybe an accompaniment, but never a curative therapy. To actually rise above all this, to actually talk of Ayurveda being significant in modern times, which it is, basically demands establishing Ayurvedic principles in a sense such that modern medicine, modern sciences, people around the world who actually have a basic education in modern sciences find it coherent, corrigible and acceptable by logic to test themselves and test against any prevalent systems and thereby ascertain how beneficial or non-beneficial the particular things is. Thank you.